Good morning, Nelson Countyans. Welcome to the Community Brew. Happy Tuesday. We are so excited this morning to have a conversation with you guys about, or I guess with, our Thomas Nelson SOC group. So, Chase, I'm going to toss it over to you and let you give some context for our conversation this morning.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have SOC here. So one of the things that we wanted to do this week was give both of our high schools an opportunity to review their year and think about some of the major milestones that they have had this year in both of our schools. And we also wanted to create some space within that to also honor some seniors and think about their year and their year moving forward, or their time at Thomas Nelson and moving forward. So today is Thomas Nelson, led by SOC and Sarah Thurman. And then on Thursday, we will have Nelson County High School and Legacy Corps and Mr. Matt Reynolds. So that'll kind of be how this operates over the next few days. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Sarah Thurman and get rolling.
Good morning, Nelson County. We are here this morning with our SOC officers. A few of those are with us, and they're going to talk about several different things with their year in review. A couple of major events that we had happen at Thomas Nelson High School, and a lot of different ways that they led in terms of student leadership. So I'm first going to turn it over to our president this year, Miss Carly Fields, and she's going to talk a little bit about some of the major events that we had throughout the 2019-2020 school year. So Carly, I'm turning it over to you.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm Carly Fields, and I'm the SOC president at Thomas Nelson. One of the major events that we had this year was Childhood Cancer Awareness Week. This was something that my team and SOC led, and we'll talk more about teams later so y'all can know what that is. And we raised $5,000 for childhood cancer awareness, and we did it through 4 different games. So I think we did 2 soccer games, a volleyball game, and a football game. And one of the major memories from that was we did a split the pot, and the woman donated that money back to us. And I know that was very emotional for me, and it was very emotional for other people too, just to show all the community coming together, and we all work to fight childhood cancer.
So Carly, what was what kind of went into that as you were thinking about, like, you could raise money for lots of different things, right? But you guys chose childhood cancer. So what was kind of your thought process with that?
So my brother actually battled childhood cancer when he was a sophomore at Thomas Nelson. So I kind of did it that way because I know that a lot of people were like, where did he go? And didn't really know like very much about it. So I always try to raise awareness for that at Thomas Nelson.
So what was that experience like once you guys had raised the money? I know you had to, I guess, donate it to a group organization. What did that kind of look like?
Well, I worked with Miss Vanessa, and I wanted to like take it to Norton Children's. I thought that was the best place to go instead of like St. Jude or something because Norton Children's is like around here, and that's where my brother went. So I just had that in my mindset, and Miss Vanessa really helped and put it there.
That's awesome. So I think sometimes we limit ourselves, right? Like we think, oh, they're high school students. What type of money can be raised? But $5,000 is no drop in the bucket. That's a really cool thing that you guys got to do. So how do you see that maybe evolving? You think that'll be something you guys continue to do, or what do you think?
This was actually the second year that we did it. Last year we raised only 500, so to raise 5,000.
Wow.
This year was definitely a jump. So hopefully we can continue doing that and raise even more.
That's awesome, Carly. I know Miss Thurman was really proud of that work that you guys did through SOC this year.
Yes, Carly, thank you for sharing that. It's funny when we look back at those student leadership slideshows, from month to month, we can see yellow throughout all of September and some of October with the childhood cancer awareness. So we certainly appreciate that team of teams work. It was very strong during the beginning of the year. And I really think that helped set the stage for our team of teams work throughout the rest of the year with that event right off the bat as soon as school started, because we know fall is very busy. The next person that we have kind of talking to us today is going to be Kira Mills. She is our vice president of the SOC class. She's going to talk a little bit about the SOC retreat that happened at the beginning of the school year as well, some of the different events that took place during the SOC retreat, and really how we started to form our team of teams within the SOC, Student Organizational Council, throughout this year. So Kira, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Thurman. Hey guys, good morning. It's Kira. So today, like Ms. Thurman said, I'm talking to you guys about the SOC retreat that we had at the beginning of the year. Basically, I think it's important that we have a SOC retreat because it's an opportunity for us to integrate our new SOC members that are coming in with our old SOC members that may be going out or just kind of like, how do I word this, are going for the year, or they're headed on their way out. So basically, I think that the SOC retreat is also an opportunity to set up the entire year. You want to put all your initiatives on the line. You want to start planning all of the football tailgates, and you want to make sure that you know that, like, you're in SOC, you're a leader now, you are a student leader in our school, and that's an important role to have. So one of the things that we did, it was an activity that we did called the commitment walk. This is something that I think is very important for all leaders to know, is that they have to commit when they're in a leadership role. You have to be able to put your heart out on the line. Sometimes you have to look a little wacky. Sorry about that. Sometimes you have to look a little crazy and you have to get out of your comfort zone. So basically what the commitment walk was, we all stood in a big circle and everybody had to do one dance across the circle in front of everybody, and they just had to commit to it. Most people hated it, including myself, but at the end of the day, I think it was pretty awesome. We even got Mr. Smith out there to do that. Miss Thurman, I'm not sure if Miss Thurman did it, but it's okay because we love her and we know she commits anyways. But that was a little activity, and I think that was really empowering for a lot of our incoming SOC reps. So that was one of our activities. We also had a mega relay, which was pretty fun. Just to get everybody's blood pumping. I like to do a lot of physical activity, and I'm also extremely competitive. So I set it up to where the losing officer team had to get pied in the face by the winning officer team. Luckily, I was the winning officer. Unfortunately, Wyatt Brown took a pie to the face. Sorry about that, Wyatt. That was probably my favorite memory with Wyatt. He's a senior now. He'll be graduating out. That was pretty fun. And we also did our SOC rep Easter egg hunt, where every single SOC rep got to bring an item that represented their club or sport. And we basically did a scavenger hunt with all those. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. The SOC retreat always produces a lot of really cool photos and for us to look at, and they produce a lot of memories for you guys. So I love the commitment walk. I think that's a really fun way to demonstrate a really important principle, you know. So that's really cool. So how long have you been in SOC?
I transferred into SOC by sophomore year, halfway through the semester. And then this is my second year, I guess, 1.5.
Awesome. So for the people that don't know, that's maybe watching either on Facebook or YouTube, can you talk a little bit about how SOC is set up, like how it's kind of structured, like how you guys are in quote unquote SOC? What does that look like?
Yes, sir. So basically, SOC is made up of 32 representatives from every single club and sport in our school, hence the name Student Organizational Council. Every single club and sport gets the chance to send one representative to the council, and every representative has a seat at our table, and we all are on one big long table, all 32 of us, which I think is an awesome experience, and that gives every club and sport the chance to voice their opinions in our school and the activities that go on in our school.
Yeah, for you guys watching, if you've never been to Thomas Nelson, their room at Thomas Nelson is a really neat setup. It really, we don't really have like the Knights of the Round Table, but it's kind of the same premise, right? Like everybody's at this one big table. There's unity, and there's not a lot of hierarchy. Like it's everyone kind of represented doing really cool work and really special work. I think the retreats are a really cool idea to, bond more than anything. I remember being in middle school, and we had a football camp, and just being there for a couple of days with your team, like it just gives you an opportunity to really bond. So that's a really cool experience, and glad you got to lead that. So I'm gonna pop over to the chat. I think Brooke
No, I'm
is
good. I'm good. I'm here.
you're good
Okay.
now. All right, awesome.
Okay. I know this is gonna come as a shock, but I was having some technical difficulties this morning. But we're here. I've got the chat. It's rolling. And so I'm gonna hop back to Carly for just a second and share some shout outs that we had in the chat that I was unable to see when you finished talking. Sorry, sis. Okay. So we have Mr. Smith on here. He said, "Great job, Carly's crew. The childhood cancer awareness work was so inspiring." Janine Mentor, she said, "So proud of Carly and Jacob Fields." Carla Mckay, she gave a shout out to all of you guys. She said rockstar group of students this morning. Jennifer Loxton's watching. She said, "So proud of you, Carly. Love you and Jacob." Okay, so yes, they're so sweet. They love you, girl. So hopping back over to Kyra. Let's see. Christy Lynch, she said, "I love the idea of the retreat, a place to set intention and to bond with your team." Let's see. Lisa Regazio, "Awesome that the planning stage is important to these kiddos. It takes planning to lead." Kathy Oler, "So inspiring, Kyra and team." Mr. Smith, "The soccer retreat in the beginning of the year really helped to lift us off for the year. It was a lot of fun. Great job organizing and running it, Kyra." So lots of love out there in Facebook and YouTube land for you ladies this morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. So one thing I think it'd be worth exploring just a little bit, because I think it's probably, people see the retreat, we see the pictures, we see the stories, we have the ceremonies. You think about like planning something like that, like what all went into kind of getting your ducks in a row to plan that.
So this past summer, I was super, super fortunate to attend the NSLC, the National Student Leadership Conference, and I learned a lot of my tips there about leading that I think I bring to SOC often, including the commitment walk. That was one of the things I learned there. I kind of changed it, tweaked it a little bit to fit the like impossible theme and the whole like Thomas Nelson lingo, purple cow, all that. Threw that into the bag there. I try to make it just as empowering as I possibly could, because your teenagers, oftentimes the world's going to tell you you can't do something. Like Carly with Childhood Awareness Week, she did that and it was awesome. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that they can do that coming into SOC.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that SOC is so fortunate to have, and I think we're starting to see it in other schools. Like the work that you all do is very powerful, and it has implications on a lot of the things that build the identity of Thomas Nelson High School. But part of the reason you're able to do it is because there is dedicated space and time in your all's day to be able to do those things, because you guys are busy and you play sports, you're involved in clubs, activities, you work, you do different things, and us trying to say, well, create this after school or create this on your own time. Not that you wouldn't, because you're great kids, and you would probably find a way to do it. But I think it helps having that space during the school day to do that work. So
yeah, I was really lucky that I had my SOC team of themes, which we will talk about here in a few minutes. That helped me plan it. I had 7 people that were backing me on that, and I had them running around everywhere the week of the SOC retreat, but they were awesome. So.
Kira, I just got called out on YouTube for mispronouncing your name. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It happens a lot.
Virtual hug, sis. Thank you, Miss Newton.
One thing too, I'll add to that. When Kira was planning that, Mr. Smith and I always put a lot of emphasis on over planning, You know, when you have a whole day retreat, it's important to over plan so there's no dead space. And Kira went above and beyond to the very minute. I mean, things were planned to a T. You know, they were, the timing was accurate. The games were very inclusive. She did a fabulous job planning that retreat. So I can't say enough about that. That really set the tone for the whole school year.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Kira. The next person that I want to introduce is Grant Amshoff. When you look at Grant, he was our chief financial officer this year, but what he's going to talk about today are some of the senior memories that stood out to some of our seniors in the SOC class. So, Grant, I'm going to turn it over to you right now.
Hang on,
so
before
I
you
went
start,
around.
Grant, hang on, stop. You have a friend behind you that I have been so
Yeah,
distracted by. Are you going to
yeah,
introduce your
Grumpy.
friend?
Yeah, this is my cat, Grumpy. She decided to join in today.
Well, I saw her
So
clapping on
yeah,
your head earlier, and I was
yeah.
really tickled. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but she was like all over you. Anyway, okay, all right, carry on, Grant.
So I went around and started asking like all the seniors within our class what their favorite memories were within the SOC, and I got quite a few responses. So I'm just going to go through some of them here. I have Caleb Dixon. He said that he enjoyed the connections we made during our retreats. Thank you, Kira, for helping us create those memories. Caroline Thomas, she said spending time with my team of teams during our retreats. Again, the retreats were a very popular thing. Even I really enjoyed it. Jack Hubble said, I liked the captivating conversations held within our group. This kind of shows how we all had to really communicate to get half of these events planned. Without communication, it would have been a total disaster. Clay Cecil said trying to lose the competition on the retreat so that Kira can get pot in the face, or him and Carson filming Yake My Ride, which was kind of like a show that they put on for a little bit. And then China Martin said planning homecoming and getting to see all the students on the court. So those are just some like our seniors. Like it just shows how much SOC really meant to them.
That's awesome. So what year are you guys? Are you all juniors, seniors, sophomores?
All of us are juniors.
Juniors. Gotcha. It's been an interesting junior year to say the least, right?
Yeah, at least we got to take the ACT.
Yeah. So you guys have you all have several different there's not like a grade level split as far as SOC. It could be freshmen through seniors, correct? That's awesome. I think it provides a lot of diversity too. You know, what you guys are thinking about as juniors, what our seniors are thinking about, and what freshmen and sophomores are thinking about is somewhat different. So that perspective, I'm sure, is really good. So, Grant, how long have you been in SOC?
For 2 years since sophomore year.
What do you represent?
Bass fishing.
Bass fishing. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I've just my 7-year-old and 4-year-old have just started getting into the fishing scene. So it's been fun with them. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, Grant, for sharing the memories there. We appreciate that. There's going to be, I think there's going to be an increase in bass fishing teams, certainly next year, no doubt about it. The last person that we have that's going to speak today is Peyton League. She was basically our marketing manager. So if you saw everything that we did with social media and in our SOC class, that's your girl. She did awesome with that. So she's going to talk a little bit about our team of teams work. That's probably one of the most important things that we implemented at the beginning of the school year because it really allowed students to form these smaller teams and get a lot of work done, which is certainly what we had to do every single day. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Peyton.
Thank you, Ms. Thurman. Good morning, everyone. My name is Peyton. As Ms. Thurman had said, I am the SOC Public Relations Officer. And to kind of start off with our team of teams, in SOC, we call it a TOT. It's kind of like the initials of team of teams. And I love it because whenever I kind of talk about it, like in my family or something, just like, oh, my TOT's doing this. My mom's like, what? A TOT? Like tater tot? What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, it's my team of teams work. Like, just don't worry about it. And then, so within our team of teams, we have a group of about 5 to 7 kids per officer, and we have 5 of those groups since we have 5 officers. And within these groups, there is so much that goes on, and I can't even explain. It's crazy, but the amount of bonding and teamwork that is put into these team of teams is insane, and I love my team of teams. So within these team of teams, we also have an introduction video. I mean, and not to brag, But I think my introduction video for my team of teams is top of the line, best one out of all 5 teams. Just saying, no offense. But also within these team of teams, we work on just different projects for the school. So like Kira's team works on prom. My team mainly took rush week and homecoming. And Grant's team works on just kind of different stuff. Grant, I'm sorry, I don't really know what you all worked on this year. Carly with childhood cancer awareness. I mean, just kind of different stuff that Miss Thurman throws at us. And sometimes our team of teams works together. So like my group and Carly's group kind of took control of the Christmas parade because me and Carly were on that committee. And I love being able to bond with other team of teams because I love not only being within my team of teams and like working with the people in it, but I love to kind of spread my connections out throughout SOC and just kind of get myself involved with other people within team of teams and just kind of getting to know them and their structure and how they work. And I love that about team of teams. So this could really have not have been a more better way to form SOC and just kind of have like little bonding, because within my team of teams, I didn't really have a bond or connection, like a real good connection, I would say, with the people in my team of teams. And SOC has really made that possible for us to have bonds and connections with them. So I feel like our team of teams is just something that cannot be replaced.
So, it looks like everyone wasn't in agreement that your video was the best. But I will say, if you're going to carry the title of marketing director, is that right?
Yes.
If you're going to carry that title, you better have the best video. See, this is what happens with Miss Whitlow too, right? Like, she's the creative media director. So if she's not got the coolest, most artistic, most creative thing, like, we're going to, give her crap about that. So if you're going to be the marketing director, that means your video, it's gotta be taken up a notch, right?
Oh, it is. We based it. So China Martin actually did our video. Huge shout out to her. She did a fantastic job. So our introduction video is based on the Friends show, their introduction video, and it's awesome. We brought out a whole couch in front of. There's this brick wall in the front entrance, and we drug it out of the SOC class, carrying it. We had Clay, Cecil, and Carson Mauser carry this big couch out into the brick pavers, and it was awesome. We filmed it there, and it was awesome.
That's cool. Friends is one of my favorite shows. I feel like I'm gonna have to see this video.
I know. I was just about to say the same thing. I was talking about that the other day, just that I was ready to restart on season 1 during quarantine. Love me some Friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, side note, let me hop over here to the chat for a second. We have Nick Patterson from BMS. He said he had the opportunity to visit SOC several times this year. Such an amazing group of leaders making a difference at Thomas Nelson and Nelson County. NC Pride. Miss Walker, she said she enjoys hearing from you guys that you all have such poise and confidence. I loved that compliment. Let's see, Miss Newton, she's all up in this chat giving y'all some serious love. So, I mean, I'm just going to skip over her for now because she's just throwing out all the love for y'all. Mr. Mudd, he said, SOC students are amazing. They dedicate many hours in leading the Thomas Nelson and Nelson County communities. Let's see here. Sonia Zelke, she said, Peyton, love your enthusiasm for Tot. And also Mr. Smith said, if SOC or the school needed anything done, we just sent it to Peyton and her Tot, and they knocked it out of the park. Great job. I also feel like, Chase, we have team of teams. Why do we not call our team of teams Tots?
That's a great question. I think so. Here's what I will say. So we started this team of teams concept, and then Ms. Thurman kind of took that and she went into the student leadership director role. That was something that she introduced, I think, to SOC, and I think what you guys have done has taught us a lot about teamwork, because essentially sometimes when you get to be in our positions and roles, you have teams and they just kind of meet, but sometimes you leave and you're like, what are we really meeting about? What's kind of the purpose of this thing? That happens sometimes, right? And I think what you guys teach us is that teams getting together, yes, there's bonding, there's purpose, all that, but by working on something like Rush Week, like homecoming, like prom, like the retreat, like childhood cancer week, like those projects are really what I think brings that teamwork to life, because there's an end goal, right? Like you can look back during a Community Brew Live, and Carly's able to talk about raising $5,000 for childhood awareness, and it's an actual thing. It was an event. So I think like you guys at Thomas Nelson are teaching us a lot about what it means to work as teams at the central office, the district level, because that's where we love learning from you all. Absolutely, we are going to probably still talk though. I like that.
One thing too, I want to add before we finish out with gratitude is each individual SOC member had their own Google site as well. And on their Google site, they listed their legacy core team, which was their leadership team, their community service initiative, their head coaching staff, and their information about themselves. So their Google sites were very creative as well. That really took on the role of the whole team. So they were phenomenal also. So within the SOC, they also highlighted their teams and their clubs as well within those Google sites. So great job to every student.
I heard Ms. Thurman also did a really cool backpack day presentation about how to create Google sites. So that was definitely an initiative that we're proud that you did. I think we can learn a lot from the site. So thank you guys for your leadership this year. It's been really important. So Ms. Thurman, you said you wanted to end with some gratitude. Is that right?
Yes, I think a couple of students have some gratitude that they want to share for some community members. Kira, you
All right, I'll start us off. Oh, can I start with Thurman? Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and start. So I want to share gratitude to Rachael Richmond, our new athletic trainer. So she replaced Eric, who sadly left us. But Rachael, she has been a blessing to our entire athletic teams all throughout the year. Especially me, she helped me get through my knee injury when I cracked my patella, and I just really need to thank her a lot more than what I probably did, just because she helped me get back to where I needed to for the track season. So thank you, Rachael.
So I'm also gonna, okay, so just to correct Miss Thurman, would you like to,
No, you go right ahead, Kira.
Okay, so is Rachel's last name Richmond? Okay. Anyways, I'd also like to throw gratitude to Rachael Richmond, Sergeant Richmond from the National Guard. She's been a huge help to SOC and to Thomas Nelson and to the Nelson County community and to me this past year. We partnered with her for a military appreciation night. She brought out the bouncies and everything. I actually ended up enlisting in the Guard through her this past year, which has been an amazing ride. She's an amazing person, and we are so fortunate to have her in the Nelson County community. So thank you, Sergeant Richmond.
So I know that me and Peyton want to shout out Carla Mckay because she really inspired both of us throughout this whole year to really become our best selves and brought us out of our comfort zone, for being in the Christmas parade, doing a backpack day, which I know me and Peyton were freaking out about.
Oh my gosh, that was such a crazy experience, but I have loved every second of it. From
Me too.
being with Carly and dancing in the hallway just kind of crazily, and we were kind of like tucked in a little corner by the cafeteria where nobody could really see us, but we were just having a ball and dancing to some music, and it was such a great time, and I couldn't have done it without Carly or Carla Mckay, so shout out to her for that.
I have one last one really quickly. Suzanne Hight, who, if you were not aware, actually started Thomas Nelson High School's first speech and debate program. She's been amazing in that, and this past year she's decided to step down, but she's been an awesome coach, and we were super lucky to have her. She coached our region runner-up in duo interp this past year, which is pretty awesome to see. No one's really had that spot from Nelson County in a while, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, you guys continue to inspire us and think about leadership in unique ways, and I'm excited to see SOC continue to develop and continue to unfold. We love Carla Mckay too. We think she's pretty awesome. And several other people you mentioned are great ambassadors for Thomas Nelson High School and the Nelson County schools, and we're grateful for that. And Sarah, I'll give some gratitude to you. You've done a lot of work this year with SOC, and you've really created something special that I think is a testament to the power of community and the power of your leadership. And we're excited about your next stage of the journey and where that's going to take you and leadership that you're going to be able to show at Bethlehem. And we know that that'll be a special experience for you and your family. So thank you guys for your leadership. It's been awesome. Brooke, I'll let you kind of wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you guys again. You all are going to have to go back to this video and read some more of the comments and love that was shared with you in the comments. Definitely. I had a sneeze. Woo. Okay. So thank you all for hanging out with us this morning. We will tomorrow. We have a special episode of the Community Brew Live for you guys tomorrow. We're gonna have some teachers on here and some other special guests, and it's going to be super exciting. So tune in with us tomorrow. And that's all we got. So make it an impossible day, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.